Article 3. Whether God exists. We proceed thus to the third article. It seems that God does not exist. Objection 1. For if one of two contraries were infinite, the other would be altogether destroyed. But the word God means that he is infinite goodness. If therefore God existed, there would be no evil discoverable. But there is evil in the world, therefore God does not exist. Objection 2. Further, what can be accomplished by a few principles if not affected by many? But it seems that everything we see in the world can be accounted for by other principles, supposing God did not exist. For all natural things can be reduced to one principle, which is nature, and all voluntary things can be reduced to one principle, which is human reason or will. Therefore, there is no need to suppose God's existence. On the contrary, it is said in the person of God, I am who I am. Exodus chapter 3, verse 14. I answer that the existence of God can be proved in 5 ways. The first and more manifest way is the argument from motion. It is certain and evident to our senses that in this world some things are in motion. Now whatever is in motion is put in motion by another. For nothing can be in motion unless it is in potency to that towards which it is in motion. But a thing moves in so far as it is in act. For motion is nothing else than the reduction of something from potency to act. But nothing can be reduced from potency to act except by something in a state of act. Thus, that which is actually hot as fire makes wood, which is potentially hot, to be actually hot, and thereby moves and changes it. Now it is not possible that the same thing should be at once in act and potency in the same respect, but only in different respects. For what is actually hot cannot simultaneously be potentially hot, though it is simultaneously potentially cold. It is therefore impossible that in the same respect and in the same way a thing should be both mover and moved. That is, that it should move itself. Therefore, whatever is moved must be moved by another. If that by which it is moved by be itself moved, then this also must be moved by another, and that by another again. But this cannot go on to infinity, because then there would be no first mover, and consequently no other mover, seeing that the subsequent movers move only because as they are moved by the first mover, just as the staff moves only because it is moved by the hand. Therefore, it is necessary to arrive at a first mover which is moved by no other, and this everyone understands to be God. The second way is from the notion of efficient cause. In the world of sense, we can find there is an order of efficient causes. There is no case known, nor indeed is it possible, in which a thing is found to be the efficient cause of itself, because in that case it would be prior to itself. Which is impossible. Now, in efficient causes, it is not possible to go to infinity, because in all efficient causes following in order, the first is the cause of the intermediate cause, and the intermediate cause is the cause of the ultimate cause. Whether the intermediate cause be several or only one. Now to take away the cause is to take away the effect. Therefore, if there is no first cause among efficient causes, there will be no ultimate nor any intermediate cause. But if in efficient causes it is possible to go on to infinity, there will be no first efficient cause, neither will there be an ultimate effect, nor any intermediate effect, efficient causes, all of which is plainly false. Therefore, it is necessary to admit a first efficient cause to which everyone gives the name of God. The third way is taken from possibility and necessity and runs thus. We find in nature things that are possible to be and not to be. Since they are found to be generated and to be corrupted, and consequently they are possible to be and not to be. But it is impossible for these always to exist, for that which is possible not to be at some time is not. Therefore, if everything is possible not to be, then at one time there could have been nothing in existence. Now, if this were true, even now there would be nothing in existence, because that which does not exist only begins to exist by something already existing. Therefore, if at one time there was nothing in existence, it would have been impossible for anything to have begun to exist, and thus, even now, nothing would be in existence, which is clearly false. Therefore, not all beings are merely possible, but there must exist something, that existence of which is necessary. But every necessary thing either has its necessity caused by another or not. Now, it is impossible to go on to infinity in necessary things which have their necessity caused by another, as has been already proved in regard to efficient causes. Therefore, we must admit the existence of some being having of itself its own necessity, and not receiving it from another, but rather causing in others their necessity. This all men speak of as God. The fourth way is taken from the gradation to be found in things. Gradation. The fourth way is taken from the gradation to be found in all things, among beings that are some more and some less good, true, noble, and the like. But more and less are predicated or predicated of different things, according as they resemble in their different ways something which is the maximum. As a thing is said to be hotter according as it is more nearly resembles that which is hottest. There is then something which is truest, something best, something noblest, and consequently something which is most being. For those things that are greatest in truth are greatest in being, as it is written in the Metaphysics. Now the maximum in any genus is the cause of all in that genus, as fire, which is the maximum of heat, is the cause of all hot things, as is said in the same book. Therefore, there must also be something which is to all beings the cause of their being, goodness and every other perfection. And this we call God. The fifth way is taken from the governance of things. We see that things which lack knowledge, such as natural bodies, act for an end, and this is evident from their acting always, or nearly always in the same way, as to obtain the best result. Hence, it is plain that they achieve their end not by chance, but by design. Now, whatever lacks knowledge cannot move towards an end, unless it be directed by some being endowed with knowledge and intelligence, as the arrow is directed by the archer. Therefore, some intelligent being exists by whom all natural things are ordered to their end, and this being we call God. Reply to Objection 1. As Augustine says, since God is the highest good, we would not allow any evil he would not allow any evil to exist in his works, unless his omnipotence and goodness were such as to bring good even out of evil. This is part of the infinite goodness of God, that he should allow evil to exist, and out of it produce good. Reply to Objection 2. Since nature works for a detriment end, under the direction of a higher agent. Since nature works for a determinate end, under the direction of a higher agent, whatever is done by nature must be traced back to God as to its first cause. So also whatever is done voluntarily must also be traced back to some higher cause other than human reason or will, since these can change and fail. For all things that are changeable and capable of defect must be traced back to an immovable and self-necessary first principle, as was shown in the body of the article.